Greetings everyone, I hope you're all doing well out there on this sticky Saturday, the 21st of June. Crikey, it's a bit of a scorcher today. Well, it is for us in the UK. We're currently facing a 28.6, I'm sure it's warmer than that outside. Can't be doing with that. I don't even know why I'm recording this video, but hey, you know, let's just get on with it. So today I'm going to be doing an air layer on a Ficus Religiosa. Not this one in particular. This is the parent plant that I got. I've had it probably, I don't know, say 2 years. It hasn't kind of really done much in that 2 years. Ooh, squeaky, chippy, chippy, chippy. It hasn't really done much in those 2 years. It did kind of push out some kind of random shoots, which kind of went into another dimension, which I had to cut back. But yeah, it seems it's probably because of the temperatures here in the UK. It thrives in really warm, bright conditions. I try and give it a bright location. I can't do much for in way of temperature wise, but you know, I'm trying to do the best I can with what I have and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, I took some cuttings off it over the last couple of years, and I'll show you those now because it's one of those I'm going to be air layering. So let's get them on there, shall we? Okay, so this is just one of the cuttings that I took off it. I can't remember how old this one is exactly, but yeah, it was only sort of, you know, about that big at the time, and it's kind of developed, but again, it's not sort of particularly fast grown. Again, I try and keep it in a bright location. I just kind of like to let it grow up, and then I just pinched the tip off recently to try and get it to kind of divide a bit. So yeah, that was one of the cuttings, and I'll show you the next cutting, which is the one I'm going to be air layering. Okay, so excuse me. This is the monster that again just started out like the other ones, just about that big, cutting about that big maybe, and over the last couple of years it's gone absolutely mad. This one was kept in a different location, which is interesting. It wasn't kept in direct sun or anything, but it was quite a brightish location. So yeah, as you can see, I can't even fit it in the full frame, so I'll have to show you the full length of it here. There we go. So you can see it, it kind of, I can't even see my own camera monitor here. So we've got like a branch here. I cut it here, which caused it to then trigger these two branches, and then I pinched the bud here, which caused these two branches here, but they are getting a bit kind of a bit leggy here. I don't know whether that was a fertilizer that caused that. I've noticed that some fertilizers are a bit dodgy in the sense that when it comes to vicuses, it causes really long internodes, which is obviously the section between one leaf and another, and that's a bit of a problem obviously for bonsai, because you don't want that. Obviously we've got this leaf decoloration thing going on here, which I'll probably just cut them off, but these leaves are probably the original leaves that were on it, on the original cutting, so they are quite old. And the same with this one here. So, but yeah, it's a bit wild, a bit wacky. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and air layer it. I don't know if you can see here, I've got this lower down branch here, so I'm going to air layer it just above that, and then I can hopefully then have this and then this as two separate kind of trees. But that's the theory. Now, from my other experiments with ficuses, they, in the right conditions, will kind of root quite readily, even without stripping the bark off. but yeah, it needs to be quite humid, and at the moment it is quite humid, but this weather ain't gonna last. It's about 51, 52%, 53%. It keeps going up. 55, crikey. I don't know, but yeah, it's very humid. I'm absolutely sweating right now trying to do this video, but I figured now would be the best time to do it because it's warm and bright and nice and humid. That's just the environment that's ideal for creating new roots. So there we go. That's what I'm going to try and do. I'll lay it about here, and then we'll see how it goes. Okay. Okay, I have done a bit of preparation in anticipation for this wild event. I've basically got a little container here which I've prepared, which also has a lid. I'll show those in a minute and explain everything. So first of all, I'm basically going to aim for this section here. So this is the kind of area that I'm going to be removing the bark from. Now I can see like a bit of a ridge here, which is probably why I decided to go for there, but also because of the depth of the container here. It's like anything below this point here is going to be pushing it, and I don't want anything to compromise that branch. So that's the yeah, about there, maybe a little bit higher, but about there. So here we go. Alright, so there's the actual, so this is where the roots are hopefully going to come out of. Oh god, I wish it wasn't so hot today. Right, I've also got some trusty old root hormone. Not that I think this will probably need it anyway, but I'm going to try it anyway just to give it a head start. And I'm just using a little brush here to apply it as well. So I'm just going to be pushing it up in an upward motion, try and get it all along here on the underside. There we go. Okay. Now, this is going to be the tricky part. I've also got some Play-Doh of all things. So I'm hoping that this is going to be strong enough to hold the pot in place. And let me just show you the pot while we're talking about it. It's nothing special, it's just basically like a plastic kind of thing from somewhere cheap and nasty, you know, like a, yeah, plastic thing. So I don't want to mention any names, but I've just basically cut, hang on a second. So I've basically just made an incision all along here and drilled a hole here, which is roughly a little bit wider to the diameter of the trunk here. And I've done the same with the lid here. And I've also put a little hole and some tubing, which will allow me to keep it nice and moist in there through water. Because it is really hot at the moment, like I keep saying, and I don't want it to dry out. I'm also going to be putting some tape, just some electrical tape, to seal the incision parts there. Right, so let's hope that this Play-Doh and other varieties are available, I'm sure, from your favourite crafting place. No advertising, but you know what I mean. I think I chose this because it's actually wheat based, so it shouldn't be too harsh, like chemically wise. That's the theory. Just going to be using Coco peat, Coco Coir. I like this stuff because it's kind of like it's very light and very airy, if you know what I mean. So it should help with some nice fine roots. Okay, so this is the bit that I've been dreading. So the cocoa stuff is a little bit moist, but not too moist. Okay, let's see if that's it. So the Play-Doh was a bit of an epic fail. Because it's so warm, it just got too soft, and it wouldn't hold the weight of the pot. enough, it kept slowly sliding down, and then it ended up leaning on this branch here, which is what I don't want. So I've managed to use some wire for now, which I'm going to have to keep an eye on, but at least it keeps this all free here. Okay, today is the 14th of July, and I'm just going to have a quick look now and show you how it's progressing. Every couple of days I've been rotating the whole plant about 180 degrees. So let's have a look. Whoa. I don't know if you can see that because of the light. There's a lot of roots in there. So yeah, the Play-Doh didn't work. That's what another thing I forgot to mention. The Play-Doh didn't work. It was too soft in the heat. It was just too soft. So I managed to get some plasticine from just like basic plasticine, and I just grabbed as much as I could and mixed the colours. It didn't really matter what colour they were, but yeah. But it, I think the roots are actually growing through the plasticine as well, which is just bonkers. But yeah, I'm going to leave it for a bit longer, I think, and see how it goes. It's absolutely gone mad all up here, all this growth. Some of the leaves are starting to go a bit brown as well, which is weird, but I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, that's it for now until I'll give it a few more weeks. Today is the 24th of July. It's been about 10 days, just a little over a week since I did the last check on the air layer. And today I think it's about time that we removed it. It's getting very vigorous all up in here. I'll zoom in and show you. So as I said, I had to ditch the whole idea with the Play-Doh. It was just too soft when it was really warm, so the whole thing kept sliding, which was no good. So instead I opted for the plasticine, some cheap plasticine, and that's held on really well. So you can see there's all the new roots. So today I think we're going to have to remove it. Yeah. Okay, so just before I do make the chop, I'll just show you the full length of the tree to give you some idea of scale. So I put it in this bigger pot to help thicken up the trunk, which has worked really well, considering how it started. I wish I had a cut-in of this original one, like a photo, sorry, of the original cut-in, but yeah, I can't find one. So that was the pot there. It's got a bit of I'm just using Coco soil, Coco Coir, and I've put a layer of Perlite on the top, which is helping to reduce the fungus gnat situation very nicely, and also watering from the bottom rather than the top also is the best way to stop that. So yeah, so the objective here is to basically chop here, to cut here, so we have this one as the new leader for the bottom half, and then we have all this new growth up here as a new tree. Yeah, this branch is obviously going to need cutting back. Let me just see if I can turn it around the other way. It's got a few leaves that are going a bit dodgy as well, so I'll cut some of these older leaves off. But this branch here is kind of going off into another dimension, so, and it's got really long internodes here as well, so I'm going to be cutting everything back, making it more compact and yeah, and then we'll just leave it and see how it goes. Give it a chance to settle. The other thing I wanted just to point out as well before I do cut this off is if you notice the roots here, now I'm going to show you like all the way around, so the full 360 degrees of the root base, and hopefully you'll notice that there are roots all the way around. You see that? There's no just blank spaces, where if you look on some videos of air layers, you might find that it's more vigorous in one particular area, and then when they turn it round there's nothing there. This is mainly due to not rotating the pot when you're air layering it. So while it's being air layered, for instance, I've been rotating the whole thing 180 degrees every 2 days to give each side equal amount of heat and light. It's mainly the heat for this tree, I think, with this Ficus Religiosa. I think the heat plays an important factor with new root growth. But as you can see, yeah, it's got a good set of roots all the way around. So yeah, just a bit of a tip there if you're doing air layers. Try, if it isn't obviously, if it's in a pot and not in the ground obviously, but if it's in a pot, try and rotate it every couple of days. I actually set a reminder on my phone to remind me to do it, because I would obviously forget, man, because my brain's just frazzled. But yeah, so there you go, little tip for you. So let's do the business, shall we? Alright, that's probably as close as I can get it. Right, here we go. Now, this is going to be awkward because even though I'm left-handed, when it comes to doing things like this, I'm actually right-handed. So I'm going to try and cut it sort of as far up as I can. I'm tempted to try and remove this and hope that, yeah, I don't know whether that's going to work, so I might, because like the roots have actually grown in the plasticine as well, so I might just try and take some of this plasticine off, just so I can get a little bit higher. And here we go. There we go. So there we have tree number 1 and tree number 2. So the next stage will be to examine this. Let me just move this one out of the way. Yeah, so the next stage will be to have a look at this one. Let me just push this back. Yeah, so I'll have a look at this and take this off, and I'll try and show you the roots, because I'm going to keep the soil, but I'm going to take the wash the roots out as well, but keep the soil and then put it in a big pot. Okay, bye bye. Okay, so here is the, I'm sorry, here is the cutting now with without the plasticine on the bottom, and I'll show you the bottom. Can you look at that radial roots, man? Isn't that awesome? Huh? I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. That's exactly what I was hoping for. I think I've removed it at the right time, because you can see the tub is not actually big enough now, so the roots are being forced to grow upwards. So, but yeah, and the roots were actually coming through the bottom and embedding into the I keep saying polystyrene, the plasticine, idiot. Yeah. So yeah. Right, so yeah, I'll go and have a look at these roots, and then I'll try and take another video if I can before I pot it up. Okay, I've got my bonsai pot here, which I'm going to be using to plant this cutting, and I'm just going to be using mainly Coco Coir here and some kind of clay, a bit similar to Akadama, but cheaper. So this will help just with giving a bit of air into the soil. And then I've got some perlite, and that's going to be just going on the surface to help stop any potential fungus gnats laying their eggs on the surface of the soil. That's the theory. Okay, so just before I do plant it, I'll just point out the stem part here that had the plasticine. I've cut it off so it's nice and flush with the base of the roots there. So that'll help sit it down nicely in the pot. The roots themselves are really good. I love how radial they are, which is perfect. So what I'm going to do first is just cut off some of these leaves here that are a bit dodgy, so I'm just going to cut those off. Like so. That one there. That one and that one. I think maybe this one here. I mean, the leaves are very big. I don't know whether that's because I might have fed the parent plant before, and yeah, that might have caused it. But there we go. So there's that. Obviously this part here is going to need reducing because that's kind of competing with the natural flow, which I'm not too chuffed about. There is what looks like a bud here, which I can probably cut it down to, which I think I'm going to do. I'll cut it back here. I'll cut it about there and see if something comes from that. Okay. What else have we got? I mean, this one's not too bad. I'll keep that one, I think. So I think that'll be it for now. I'll leave it like that and just pot it like that. I already have the drainage holes covered, as you can see there. Ding. Okay, so at this stage I'm not too fussed about fronts and backs with the normal bonsai stuff. This is literally just to start its journey and just to let it grow really and see what happens. So yeah, I'm going to just sit that on top of the soil that I've put there in the middle. Okay, so there she is in all of her beauty. But yeah, what am I going to do now? Well, nothing. I'm going to just let it grow now, and because we're still in the summer, so I'm just going to let it grow. I don't want to do anything to cause any more stress to the poor little thing. And just see what happens from there, really. I mean, obviously some of these branches are going to need cutting way back, but yeah, I think for now I'm going to let things develop, because I need to be able to see a future direction for it. I mean, there is the possibility of obviously cleaning that off there for a start, maybe cutting it here and having this as the new leader, so we introduce a bit of taper. There are a few options, so I don't want to rush into anything. I'm just going to let it be, and just let it recover and grow for now. I think that's pretty much all I can say. So there's that one anyway. I'll show you the other one that's left. Okay, and here is the parent plant, and as you can see, this is where we made the cut here. So there might be a little bit of dieback, but I'm just going to leave it like that for now, and cut this off later when it's all healed. And this will become the new leader. It might bend up a little, hopefully, but if not, I can always wire it if need be. It's still getting a lot of growth as well coming through. I don't know if you can see that on this camera. Let me just tip that up a bit. So yeah, we're getting some new leaves coming through. But yeah, I am tempted to trim it back. Somewhere like here maybe. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you can see that. Yeah, maybe about there. But I think I'll leave it for a couple of weeks maybe, and let this heal and just see how it goes. So yeah, I do like the taper in this one a little bit better as well. So I think that's it for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. It's been interesting. It was a bit shady at first. It was extremely warm, and I struggled trying to do everything, you know, with the camera and hold everything, and the Play-Doh incident. But but yeah, apart from that, I'm pretty impressed with how it turned out. I could do a follow-up video later on in, like, say, about a month or so. If you're interested, just give me a holler. If you like the video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Ching, ching, ching. That's always a good thing. And subscribe, baby. Yeah, come on now. Hit that subscribe button. You know you want to. So yeah, hopefully, all being well, I'll see you soon with an update video. And ta-da for now.